Hey guys, I wanted to make a video showing you my grails in my vinyl and CD collections. So I kind of have my own definition of grail for this video. It can be highly sought after, really hard to find, and it's also a physical release that I had been searching for years, and now they are pretty expensive and rare. So that's basically the criteria for what I consider a grail for this video, and just kind of what I consider a grail in general. First, I want to start with my records, and I want to start specifically with some reissues. I wanted to throw these in this video because these are pressings where I have been waiting years and years to find the original pressing, the original first release, and that was just too hard to find. They were too expensive, but then years later they ended up getting a reissue, so I was able to add these to my collection. Although they're not the specific expensive rare pressing, I do consider the reissues kind of like a grail because I have been searching for these. The reissue pressing is less valuable. So my first reissue grail is the soundtrack to the movie Inception. This is on clear vinyl. I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. He's my favorite director, and I love Hans Zimmer as well. He composed the soundtrack. He's one of my favorite composers. Love the movie, love the soundtrack. And for years, I have been looking for this soundtrack on vinyl ever since I started collecting. So this took me a few years to find, but the original on Discogs looks like it's pretty expensive, going for $50 to $150. So that was the only one available at the time, and I was not going to spend that much on it, so I waited. A few years went by, and the price had not gone down, but then I did end up hearing about a reissue that happened. It was actually so crazy and random. I had it as a saved search on eBay. One day this eBay seller posted a couple of copies, and so I was able to pick this up. I probably only paid around $20 to $30 for it. It's very affordable. I've seen the price fluctuate on the reissue pretty often. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I consider it a grail because I didn't have to spend $100+ on the original. Super glad I was able to find this and add the Inception movie soundtrack to my record collection. The last two reissued records I'm going to group together. This is a reissue of 5 Seconds of Summer's debut album. It's their self-titled album as well, so it's called 5 Seconds of Summer. This is the red vinyl pressing, and behind it I have the picture disc. Here's what the back looks like. The original pressing was for Record Store Day. I think it was 2014 Record Store Day. That pressing now is extremely rare, extremely expensive, one of the most expensive 5-sauce pressings out there, and there was no way I was ever going to get it. And for their 10-year anniversary, they ended up reissuing these, so they released a red version of the picture disc, and they also put out just a standard LP, so this has the album on it as well on red vinyl. So I'm very glad they ended up reissuing this for an anniversary release. I have been waiting years for them to reissue this. I mean, I've only been collecting vinyl for like 5 years, but I've been waiting all 5 of those years to have 5 Seconds of Summer's first album on vinyl. Now that completes my 5-sauce album collection. Now I have every single 5-sauce album on vinyl, every studio album. These pressings aren't really worth a lot. You can still purchase these for standard retail price. My last 2 vinyl grails are actual grails where I have the original first pressing. So this one is Slide by Calvin Harris. It's the Slide 12-inch single picture disc. The song Slide is by Calvin Harris featuring Frank Ocean and Migos. So here's what it looks like. It's very cool. I'm not really a variant collector or a picture disc collector, but I love Slide so much I had to get this. I love the beach tropical palm tree look. It definitely fits the summer vibes of the song, and this was one of the very first Calvin Harris songs I ever liked. It's one of the songs that made me a Calvin Harris fan, so I had to pick it up on vinyl. This is a grail for me because I had been searching for it for so long, and the first copy I ever bought was on eBay, but that ended up getting lost in the mail. It's a long story, but basically it got lost in the mail. I did get a refund, but then I had to just keep searching for another copy, and this is the copy that I ended up getting. It actually did get delayed because of the pandemic. Shipping delays were very common and things were getting lost in the mail, so overseas shipping I had a ton of issues with. I think it took at least a month, maybe 2 months for it to be delivered, but I really treasure this. I really value this. I got it for like $20, $30, pretty reasonable price. I saw on Discogs it's going for a crazy amount of money, I think like 100 or something, so I definitely consider it a grail, and I'm just so glad it got here in one piece. And the number 1 grail in my collection is 5-sauce Meet You There Tour Live, 5 Seconds of Summer, their 2018 Meet You There Tour Live album. It's a double LP on black vinyl. It's one of the most sought after 5-sauce records ever. I don't know how many copies it was limited to, but it's super hard to find now, very rare. People go years trying to find this. They spend a ton of money on it, so I'm so grateful to actually have it and that I got it for free. I did make a whole video explaining it. It's kind of a long story as to how I got it, but long story short, I ended up getting a refund for this because it got lost in the mail for 2.5 years. This is definitely one of those grails where I tried to find it for years. I bought this from a seller on eBay. I think it was 2021. I didn't get any tracking information. Had to go back and forth with eBay and the seller for a couple of months. Case got closed and then I tried to reopen it. I think that's how it went. It was a long story, a lot of details. I ended up getting a refund for it a few months after I purchased it, and then 2.5 years later it just randomly appeared at my doorstep, like it finally got delivered. There's no damage either, which is so surprising. I technically did get this for free, which is insane. I still can't believe this happened, but I love this live album. I missed the tour that this album is based on, but I love the track list, or like the tour set list. It's incredible. Youngblood is my favorite Vsauce album. It's my favorite era, so like all of my favorite live songs are on here. It gives me a little bit less FOMO from missing the tour. Now I want to show you 2 of my CD grails. These I got very recently, just within the past couple of months, which is crazy. I've been able to find my biggest CD ISOs. The first one I'll talk about is Try Hard by the band Camino. So this CD, when it first came out, it was readily available, but I made the mistake of not buying it, even though I kind of wanted it. I got the album on vinyl, and for some reason I just didn't buy the CD as well. I literally have no idea why. And then it sold out on their website. They re-released it a few times, but I still didn't buy it, and I still don't know why I did that. I realized how much I actually wanted it on CD, and since then I had been trying to find it on CD, and it sold out everywhere, could never find it. I checked every website, every reseller website, could not find this for the life of me. And then finally, just a few months ago, I actually found it on Depop. Somebody sold it for $10 plus shipping, which is extremely fair and reasonable, and it was brand new, still sealed, which was crazy. Extremely rare find. I can't believe I even found this at all. It surprises me so much. On Discogs, somebody paid $70 for it. I don't think it's worth $70, but you know, it's so hard to find nowadays. It might be worth $70, I don't know, but somebody just paid a ridiculous amount for this, and I only paid about $15, $16, $17 for it, so I'm so glad to have this. This is my favorite album. Well, it's an EP, but it's my favorite project from the band Camino. This is what made me a fan of the band Camino. I love this so much, and I love being able to have it on CD now, completing my band Camino collection. And last but not least, I have Fred Again's Actual Life 3 CD. This is actually a signed copy. I have the signed art card framed. Here's what the back looks like, and it has the little sticker showing that it is the signed version. I have been trying to get something signed by Fred again in my CD or vinyl collection for years, ever since I became a fan. I've been a fan of Fred again for a couple of years now, and I tried to find this because I knew he did signed CD copies of this album, and I had been trying to find it. There were a few copies floating around, but they were like $60, and I just didn't want to spend that much on it. I was just playing it slow and waiting to see if somebody would sell it for a lower price. I wasn't even really looking for it when I found it. I was just randomly scrolling through Fred Again stuff on eBay, and I stumbled upon a listing for this. It was used and open, but it was still in decent condition. The signed art card was in perfect condition. That's really all I cared about. And they were selling it for like, I think $40, so I paid a little bit less than what it's worth and what it goes for, which is pretty good. You can still find some copies of this floating around. This specific version is like, I think it's a reissue. I know on eBay there are a few pressings floating around of the original UK release of the CD. I'm not exactly sure how rare this version is, the reissue. It might be rare. I know for sure it is probably pretty expensive. This was so hard for me to find, and I'm just so glad I was able to get it. I got super lucky. But also too, I really like this album. It's my favorite of the Actual Life albums. Again, this is the third one, so I'm really glad I got this on CD along with Fred Again's signature. I have been searching for all of those albums for so many years now. It feels crazy to actually own them, and most of them are super rare and expensive now. I definitely got super lucky with some of these. The quest is pretty much over. I don't really have a ton of grails left that I'm looking for. I can't even think of anything off the top of my head. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I think for right now I don't really have any more grails that I'm searching for. But that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on my grails in the comments. Do you have any of these pressings? Do you want any of these pressings? recordings that I have. And of course, let me know what are your grails in your record or CD collections. Let me know if there was anything rare that you were searching for and you were able to get it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!